Hi, this video is actually about something that has really been something that I put a lot of thought into, and this topic alone fascinates me. And it's about the possibility of the universe in which we live in being alive. And I don't mean that in the sense of it catering to life, but more along the lines of it being a living being. And I'm not saying that it's some sort of deity. I'm not looking at it as, a creator or anything like that. I'm just simply feeling that the universe in which we live in is also a living being. And a couple things factor into that. And as we know, there are certain qualifications that, we determine something to be alive or non-living. Some of those things include, um, you know, well, first it must have cells and some sort of organization on molecular, cellular level. It should metabolize, respond to stimuli, reproduce, and grow. Now, of course, not all living things need to grow, but I'm including that in this particular video because the universe is growing. And so I kind of thought about those things, and with the whole cell and organization of cells. I'm basing this. It's just a little theory of mine, and it kind of came from watching a segment of how the universe works. I do recommend that. I think it's a really cool thing for people to watch. It's just it's great for children to become educated with and stuff like that. I just think it's awesome, and it's something I would watch on Netflix. And one of the segments went over where they had done a mapping of galaxies, and when they got the results back, these galaxies are organized. They're like in these filaments. And when I first saw that mapping, the first thing that I thought about was like human capillaries, or maybe a neuron, of the brain. I don't know, but you were definitely looking at organization, and that alone is fascinating. Now, why I'm associating it with cells is because I'm just kind of like looking at the galaxies themselves as cells. Obviously it's a little bit different than ourselves, our physiology, but nevertheless, it seems as though there's something with that whole entire organization, and that I just seem to be struck with. And another thing is that the galaxy does metabolize. So each cell shows metabolism. And you can see that through the very center of each galaxy in a supermassive black hole, which takes all of that energy and condenses it. And then, of course, you have these X-ray emissions where they're able to detect that metabolism and these quasars. And those are basically high energy emissions that are released into the universe. And it's been theorized that quasars are actually a source of reproduction in the universe. It's a theory, it's not proven, but it's been said. So I just thought it was pretty interesting to connect that together with. Another thing is response to stimuli. And when I was watching that, I had not really come to any solid conclusions. And that's mostly because of where we are right now in our ability to even see whether or not the universe responds to stimuli. But given our limitations, there's been some information I've heard regarding the detection of pressure towards the end of the galaxy. I mean, the end of the universe and stuff like that, as though it's pressing against something or ripping the universe apart or whatever it is. And we can, and it's also been theorized that there are actually other universes in which surround the one in which we are in. And being that they're able to kind of sense that pressure, I don't think they could define it. We can't really define it yet. At least not that I'm aware of. I haven't come across a lot of information about that. And I know since gravitation is detected internally from the ends of the universe, that it seems as though it does respond to stimuli. And it just seems to be that there's a great possibility that there's a sign of an exterior force. Now, earlier I mentioned the supermassive black holes and the quasars and reproduction, and that's kind of where that fell into. And then of course, with growth, we do know that the universe is growing. People have theorized that it's basically ripping itself apart. I don't know if that's true, because there's a lot of things that have been theorized that I don't really believe. One is I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. So these are just little things that I think about. And as beautiful and as magnificent as the universe is, and looking at how absolutely, finding out that the galaxies are able to, that they're living in these little neighborhoods pretty much, and the way that they work. And granted, they're all different. There's a huge variety of galaxies out there. There's so much undiscovered territory, so much that we've got yet to discover. But we are conscious. I am conscious. You are conscious. And if there's one thing I do believe in, I believe in energy, and I believe in consciousness. And the two, of course, consciousness is reliant upon energy. And the universe is full of that. And I can't help but think something as inferior as you would think as a being living on one of the planets within the universe, being conscious. And something about human consciousness that I admire is that we are creative. We make music. We feel emotion. We are able to, connect with one another. Well, some of us, So, I mean, there's so much that I see in the human mind that I'm impressed with. I'm in awe with, So, being that, we're just people on one planet in one portion of one galaxy amongst a plethora of galaxies that we've never even seen, never even, had a chance to discover, probably, and it's like, I almost feel it's like almost impossible for the universe not to be conscious, as weird as that seems. And I almost feel, that maybe our consciousness may be inferior, but still so important and relevant at the same time. I do have a lot of strong feelings, in which I'll bring up later, regarding human consciousness. And because to me it's one of the most fascinating things in the world is human consciousness, and what we're able to do. Like I mentioned, the creativity and imaginations that we have and how far we've come, and cultures, the belief systems, the artwork, the music. I mean, you can get wrapped up into it and just be in awe over it, you know, because I am, and I can only imagine what else is out there in terms to inspire that and make that possible. So I don't know. I am basically just saying that I have this belief that we are in a living being, and I know it's not factual. To me, I'm pretty convinced. You know, I just wanted to kind of put that out there and see what, you know, people thought, if this video got any views at all. You know, if you know, any feedback in terms of what your thoughts may be regarding that possibility, and things at that level. I haven't had a chance to really be involved with that kind of thing, and the passions that I have, and it's because it's something I'm personally going through, which my other videos go over. But part of, I guess, my therapy is trying to revive that old me and the things that mattered, and that's one of them, is the universe, and the fact that I do feel that we are living within a living being, something that is alive and conscious as we are, maybe more so, if that's possible. I don't know. So feedback would be nice. Ridicule, I'll tolerate it, you know, because I'm bound to get it eventually with one of the things I say at some point in time. Anyway, so that was just something to throw out there and just kind of see what other people think. Alright, thank you for listening.